Absolutely, absolutely, and it's fun when you point that out that everyone looks back and I was watching a master class with Malcolm Gladwell, if you're a Malcolm Gladwell fan, and he talked about Kafka and said that every one of us is necessarily the hero in our own story, in our own journey. And so I look back as you're talking, like, yeah, of course I can make myself and see the threshold and cross and what was missing and going to find the resources and going into the magical world and all those things on the classic Joseph Campbell the hero's journey that you're talking about. And as a mentor, as a coach, you're right. That's part of our job, is to help people find the resources so that they can fulfill their destiny in that way. Such great things that you said, by the way, a moment ago. What I really loved, my favorite part, because now I feel like justified for watching Game of Thrones, is that
Yeah.
I'm learning. I'm actually training my mind. I'm preparing for the real world, but I'm doing it in a dissociated way so I can actually accelerate my learning because I see what Cersei does and oh, that's bad leadership in that situation, or what Jon Snow does and oh, and I like Jon Snow's version of leadership, and so I'm going to adapt and kind of go into that mindset. Can you connect the dots a little bit for us on some of those classic heroic tales, heroism itself, and the everyday leaders that are out there?
It, I'm happy to, but it's never as simple as connecting the dots because I think one of the things we make the mistake of doing is we assume, oh, this is all this hero's journey thing. This process of becoming our best, most heroic selves is a rational, logical process that I can think my way into. One of the reasons why we have to watch stories about like Game of Thrones or Star Wars is because ultimately heroism isn't rational, it's transrational. And transrational means beyond our ability to think our way through. And so we learn things through storytelling that we cannot learn by having someone lecture to us with formulas, equations, and logical arguments drawn out on PowerPoint slides. Only storytelling can teach us how people overcome suffering. You can't hear a lecture on suffering and how to overcome it. You have to watch it through storytelling. And so you're watching Tyrion, the dwarf in Game of Thrones, go through all this suffering, and you look at the qualities he has, and he's role modeling for you perseverance, resilience, courage, resourcefulness, and even sneakiness. And so, and we have to ask ourselves, and this gets back at the anti-hero question, there's a lot of anti-heroism and actually awful behavior in Game of Thrones. How much of that is useful? And is any of it useful? And what does that mean? And we can only make sense of it through storytelling because ultimately storytelling is full of trans-rational phenomena like suffering, love, death. Um, uh, I just mentioned really things we cannot learn from book learning. We've got to learn it only through storytelling, which is why we're drawn to heroes and narratives because they're full of these transrational phenomena that teach us wisdom and in ways that we cannot learn any other way. So I think you think you're wasting your time on Netflix? No, you're learning whether you know it or not.